That's alright, Mama. That's alright with you. That's alright, Mama. And just any way you do. That's alright. That's alright. That's alright now, Mama. Any way you do. Come on, now. Can you feel the pain? Into him now. About this new world. Ain't no train. Papa's got a brand new eye. Purple haze in my brain. Lately things just don't seem the same. Acting funny and I don't know why. Excuse me while I kiss the sky.
What is going on? Don't Unfriend Me Nation. Leeroy Jenkins is in the house, slightly off center, but that's okay. You can talk now. I fixed it. Go ahead and say hi.
What is going on, folks? It is a happy Tuesday, and I'm happy to be here.
Outstanding, buddy. How are things, man? You doing good?
Things are weird lately, right? I've been bleeding money. Like, just the washer and dryer took a crap. I ended up, I know, right? We ended up having to get a new car. Just one thing after another.
Yeah, it seems to happen in threes, right? So, I mean,
Right.
we felt that last month. Last month was brutal. A lot of helping out the dumb nation and just some crazy stuff. But yeah, it's getting better. How's everything else? You feeling better? I know you weren't feeling well on Thursday.
I am feeling a little bit better. I think part of it is the weather. I get like this time of year.
Oh yeah, it's the allergies. They're horrible. Also, Amy has just been going through it too, so she's got a lot of crap going on. So, just craziness. So everybody's kind of going through it right now. Yeah, it is what it is. Well, we got a good show tonight. We're going to cover everything top to bottom. Want to talk a little bit about Harry Sisson got kind of a slap in the face. Sliwa in New York is not going to drop out. I'm going to tell you why he shouldn't. Candace again, and Shutdown Blues, and a whole bunch of other stuff. We're going to just kind of dive into it. Leeroy and I will give you the straight poop. We got about 3 minutes on the other side. Please do me a favor. Go to thedumbshow.com, like and share this like crazy. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Do you want the truth? Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news? Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, start offering me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies, back up all the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's stuff.
Hey guys, Barry Morgenstein, America's headshot photographer, coming to you from my New York City studio. Great friend of the Dumb Show. It is now time to put down the camera because it's almost 7 p.m. and I'm gonna watch the coolest, the most real and raw show on the internet. It's on every night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the coolest guys, Matt, Olivia, Leeroy, and Amy. You guys have to tune in to see it. It's gonna be something incredible every night. Check it out.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leeroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me Show. Had a couple things hitting viral today, so welcome to any new followers and users. We're sitting at let's see, we started our Threads site. Even though we started it like a year ago, we've never paid attention to it. So we've been paying attention to it for 30 days. We got 1,400 followers. But the crazy thing is 4.6 million views.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Good on you.
Yeah, so that's huge. Twitter, who cares? X is just, I'm never even going to call it X because it's nothing new. It's the same thing. They haven't unthrottled the accounts that they blacked who weren't big. And I'm not going to sit here and play the game anymore. It is what it is. We love our live viewers, and Twitter, we get huge amounts of lives, so that's all we care about. So we love you guys. Thank you. Rumble, same as always. Rumble's doing fine. It's good. It's steady. It's not growing huge. But other than that, everything else is. TikTok, we just hit 1,000 followers. We hit over 1.5 million views last month. Facebook has been absolutely going. It was a little rough, but it's getting back to where it was. We've had quite a few posts. We have one at 500,000 right now. We have another one at 1.5, and it is growing. We're at almost 320. We should probably hit 320,000 by tomorrow, which is exciting, considering that we're 20,000 ahead of the goal. We wanted to hit 300,000 by the end of the year, so we're already 20,000 into next year. So we're going to shoot for 200,000 next year, hit 500,000, which would be awesome. And let's see, what else? Instagram is crushing. YouTube is crushing. So I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but YouTube's now at 7,200 followers. It was at 1,200 for 4 years. And we are now pushing about 7 million views on YouTube, and it is growing every day. You're going to see subscribers pop up. And then Instagram's also doing well. I think we're pushing, I don't remember where we are, but Instagram, literally, we were at like 900 for 4 years.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and now we're at 4,500, and constantly things get, 20, 30, 2,000, 3,000, 40,000, 1.5 million. So it's things are growing. So that's cool. As far as money, you got to be monetized on TikTok. You got to hit 10,000, and I'll be honest, they won't let us run ads. So that's going to take a long time to hit 1,000, but few viral posts, maybe we'll make it happen. Leeroy Jenkins to my left. Leeroy, it's good to have you here, buddy. I hope you're doing well. Wow, where'd you go?
Hey, that's the invisible man right there. Yeah.
Let me hook you here. Let me get you taken care of. There's me, and there's you.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Thank you. There we go.
What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm okay. I know it's been a little bit since we've been able to connect, and I've been able to get on the show.
Yeah.
Just a lot going on between the government shutdown. I still have friends that are out of the building. And then like this persistent rash of things in the house that have either been breaking or require my attention. Yeah. So just been busy. And then again, this time of year, it's not easy on me. I don't know what it is. When it gets cold and damp like this, I just feel absolutely like crap. So it takes all my effort to put on a smiley face and, persist.
Well, I hear you. I want to hear about that persistent rash some more. Because you can go back and watch the intro and listen to that persistent. You said persistent rash. So rash of events. I get it. Not like an itch that you can't scratch.
Yeah, it's nothing I need an ointment for, but
right, because it's the military shoots you full of penicillin anyway, just as a precaution. All right, so we got a lot Oh yeah, maybe there's a Blue Sky is kind of like the liberal X, and
Yes.
the White House went over there. I think we're going to go over there and rate it because Threads is completely liberal. Like it was the alternative to Facebook. They're like, well, we hate Facebook because it's the right and it's predominant right, which is really, it really is. Let's be honest. So they went to Threads and they hate me. Oh God, they hate me. Like the death threats that I've received, usually you probably get about 4 or 5 a week. With Threads now it's in the 20s and 25s. I mean, Threads hates us, but the people who love us, and the people who hate us, and that's the way it should be. So I'm kind of excited about it.
I don't want to be any middle ground for that. Like it'd be nice if, we were so well known that you could, absolutely split up a bell curve and say, oh my God, we have 500,000 people who absolutely love us. And then, another 800,000 who absolutely want to see us, hang from the gallows. But
right.
Fact is I'm not that well known yet, and I'm not going to be.
Pretty much Facebook is like, I'm confident that we have very few hate subs on Facebook. Although they troll, they don't sub. Because every time I post something that is slightly not right, we lose followers, right? So, but when I'm on Threads, anything I post that's pro-Republican immediately goes viral. Like people just hate it. And that's amazing. I love it. So we're happy with Facebook. YouTube used to be, all I got was, little Twitch streamers, gamers, and I still do, but YouTube is getting a lot of support. It's really kind of cool. So we're kind of excited. We're happy. Hope everyone's doing well. Oh yeah, go ahead.
You had mentioned something about, I had posted the other day for the people who know where they can find me on Facebook. I had posted something 2 days ago that had said that on the heels of the No King's Day, in quotation marks, because it's not a real thing.
No.
A quick scroll of posts and comments and the casualness of the fascist Nazi label tells me that people have learned nothing post Charlie Kirk's murder.
Nothing.
Because that's all we saw. And so I don't know if they know this or not, but they're just they're making the environment fertile for something like that to happen again.
Right. And fertile for a persistent rash. So, I mean, we're just taking out all the stops tonight when it comes to innuendo. Are you trying to tell me something? Just saying.
Just go get yourself tested, please.
Well, yeah. It's freaking, what's funny is I started this new contact thing, and in my left eye I have for close up, and my right eye I have for distance, because it's supposedly that works. I hate it because the close up is thin, and the thin contacts bother the living hell out of me. Like the thick ones are fantastic like the bi-weeklies. This one is, I can't even feel it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to have a pair of bifocals. And whenever I check my phone, that's like twice a show. So I'm going to just get it in both eyes, and this is perfect. Like, I can't stand my glasses. I hate them. So I took this one, the close-up out, and honestly, my close-up has no problem. I don't have any problem with close. I don't have any problem with distant. I have problem with mid-range, 10 feet to 6 to 10 feet, which makes no sense.
My distant is absolutely shit. And then anything that's in front of me, 3-4 feet, I'm good with. I don't need glasses, and I don't wear them. The only time I really need those is when I'm driving.
Yeah. Living Patriots.
Or when I'm trying to hit something at the end of the range.
Yeah. Well, see, that's not my distance is good. Like, it's fantastic. It's a little fuzzy, like letters, but if I want to go iron sights, I'm good. It's just that video game and TV range. And that's where I'm at right now. You haven't seen the new studio, but you know the house. So it's that 6 to 8 feet. Patriots, you hit 10K. I was going to share one of your posts, Patriots, but you share a lot of my stuff. So I've been watching and waiting. As soon as I see something that looks really good, I'll post it, and we'll give you a bump and help you out. Congrats on 10K. Just keep posting, man. I noticed the last few things you've shared of mine have actually done really well. I think you had something like 30 or 40 likes on a video. That's good for 10K. So keep sharing, and we'll share something from you, and we'll call it good. Or maybe I'll just throw you a bone, just like give you a meme or something that you can put up that I know will do well on our site. Anyway, let's get going. We got a lot to do. By the way, folks, phone lines are officially open. We're going to go ahead and pop those open right now. And all I would ask is that if you call in, have something to talk about, right? I really just probably don't want to do. Hey, Liv,
how's it going?
yeah, I really don't want to like chat about the weather. Like, if you got something to talk about, now, if you want to chat, and I'm like, hey, let's just call and chat, then we're fine. Donations aren't working. 1 second. I know she's not. Thanks, buddy. Sorry, I got to go figure out what the hell's going on.
I would say if anybody has a hard opinion on the No Kings Day or the government shutdown, things of that nature, yes, by all means, please call in. If you're just looking to get caught up, well, maybe that can be done at another time.
Well, I don't mind that. Trust me. I love it when we catch up. My point is, it's like when people are like, hey, and I'm like, hey, and I'm like, what do you want to talk about? They're like, well, you know, and I'm like, no, I don't know. So that's what I'm talking about. I almost got this fixed. Hold on. Something's going on here. Reload. Oh, come on.
It seems like the thing that's in the news lately, this is probably you're probably going to touch base on this later. I'll shut up.
No, go ahead.
It's well, the thing with the White House being part of it, I think the South Wing or whatever it is,
the renovation
torn down. Yeah. People are losing their minds over that.
Of course they are. They're idiots. And that's the problem. Is that whole thing is paid for by Trump and was paid for by Trump and then for donations. So it's not costing American taxpayers anything. Nothing. Right. Zero. Zilch. Nada. And of course they're freaking out. And why? You can talk about that if you want for a second while I fix this, please.
Well, I have a few friends who, they are definitely on the right side of the spectrum. But when this headline had popped, they had immediately thrown out a couple of, Facebook posts that have basically suggested they weren't okay with it. And they had some very strong opinions about either tradition or the history that was behind it. And when I was driving home, I was listening to Sean Hannity, who had made mention of the fact that, several presidents have all made major renovations within the White House, be it bowling alleys, swimming pools, or a basketball court for Barack Obama, even a bowling alley. So it's like, I mean, these kind of things happen. I guess the major point of contention was this is one of those situations where now they're physically seeing something being torn down rather than built up. That was the biggest problem, at least from my friend's point of view.
Yeah, but there's been like 12 presidents who've done plenty.
Yeah, that was my point.
I don't understand what the problem is, and those were all under taxpayers' dollars. So I'm just trying to figure out why the hell people are having a problem with it. It doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? It's like, who cares? He has every right to make upgrades. He's paying for it himself. Who cares?
Right.
Maybe I'm missing something, but I don't know.
No, I think it's just the general level of sensitivity and maybe a little bit of media overreaction towards literally anything Trumpster is doing.
Well, yeah, but like I said, who cares? Like, how often are you at the White House, people? If he wants to create a ballroom and expand on the White, who gives a shit? Like, There's so many other things for you to care about that you cannot like about Trump if you really want to. Who cares? Maybe I'm just overreacting to the point where I don't get the drama. It's like, it doesn't matter what he does. No matter what he does, these people are going to cry like little incessant, petulant babies. So I'm like, cry. Good. I hope you do. I don't know what else to say. I mean,
I'm with you.
I just don't care. I don't care. I've got other things to worry about. I've got more pressing things, and I certainly don't care about Donald Trump improving the White House on his own dime and with donation dollars. Okay? That's it.
That's
and
fair.
that's great because we're finished and I got the goals up. Folks, goals are officially up. $300 is what we're going for. Oh, God, that looks like dog shite. Hold on. What happened there? Hold on. I got to fix this. What happened to my font? This is horrible. This is horrible. Hold on. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it. Fix it. Let's see. Any better?
All right.
Hold on. Got to reload it. No, that's dog crap. I need what is the one I use? Hold on. We're going to go here. I just, it's my own personal thing. I got to have it look pretty. And if it doesn't look pretty, I'm going to have a bad night. And we don't want me to have a bad night. Leeroy, so your take on the No Kings thing. I mean, 7 million supposed people. Your thoughts on it?
That might have been horseshit.
Well,
that number seems wildly overestimated. And somebody had even suggested that there were at least a dozen of the same protests that were happening in other countries. And I thought to myself, I'm not sure I buy that. And maybe to some degree, there's people out there in other countries who I'm sure hate Trump, but are there enough of them to congregate in one area? Can you find that many people on the same wavelength in Portugal? I just don't know.
Well, the problem is it's funny you mentioned Portugal. Out of the 18 countries that participated in this crap, 9 of them had an emperor or a monarch.
Right.
Now, and of course, the left are like, wait a second, those aren't functioning monarchies. I don't care. Anybody that still has a monarchy is a yutz.
Dude, if you put the queen on your money, you're a monarch.
Yeah, you're an idiot. And if anyone says, well, we have to swear fealty to them, like Carney does from Canada. Did you know that Canada was actually and still is under England rule?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And there's things that you don't know. I mean, I'm shocked, but I had no idea. As I would have sworn it was France because of Quebec, but I guess that separation took place and also during our independence, when France and England recognized independence of the United States. There was also where France obviously helped us expel the English and was one of the turning points in the Revolution. But I just didn't know Canada was ever under English rule, and I guess that makes sense. Because we got into a conflict with Canada and lost. Something I should have probably known, but I didn't know. It just didn't make sense. Anyway, so let's get into it. Thank you. Goals are up. Olivia's going to be working on that tonight. I do have to switch this real quick, and then we're out of here. I just got to switch these images. I apologize, guys. I try to be prepared, but I screwed up. So let me just fix this, and then we are, look at that, Leeroy, how beautiful. Okay, Leeroy's on the right side. Left side, I'm on the right side. There we go. All right, call-in is available. If you guys want to call in, please do. 276-200-2105. Have something to talk about. Otherwise, we're going to get into the show. So first thing I wanted to talk about tonight and is essentially Sliwa from New York. Now, the current makeup of mayor. Now, I'm just telling you right now, this race is over. Mondani's going to win. I have zero doubt. I think his percentile is now up to 96%. And we're pretty good at calling this stuff. And the reason why is now this is the whole story. Okay, so let's go over it. Mondani is a progressive socialist, Hamas supporter, anti-Jew, Muslim. Now, when Fox News says that, it's just bullshit. This is not bullshit. This guy is all of those things and more. And he makes AOC and Rashid Tlaib and Ilhan Omar look like...
Makes them look tame, yeah.
Right, makes them look good. So you've got him, and in the primary, he ran as a Democrat, and he was against Cuomo. Cuomo got his butt kicked. So the chances of him winning a general when they shot him down in the primary are pretty much slim to none. So he runs as an independent. Now, He's like 23 points behind. I mean, it essentially... Bob Dole or Mike Dukakis might have a better chance than Cuomo. And that's maybe Mondale. He has a better chance than Walter Mondale. But those are like 3 of the biggest election destructions ever in political history. you're not gonna win. So Sliwa is a guardian angel. You know what they are in New York, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I told him a long time ago, take off the dumb beret. Just take it off. I know what it represents, dude. Just take it off. You look like a goober, okay? You just look like a goober. You just look like a nutter. Take it off. Wear a pen. Have a red beret pin, and everyone in New York will know what it means. But take the stupid beret off. He didn't do it. But either way, I got to give him credit. The guy is not pulling out, and he's like, I'm in it to win it. Well, you're not going to win it. There's no chance. But even if he drops out, Cuomo's still not going to win. And he's like sticking to his principles. And New York, if Cuomo needs to drop out and at least give him an option to vote for Sliwa, because there's no way Cuomo's going to win. They don't want him. They repudiate his politics. So he's standing firm. And I guess he's been offered $10 million by billionaires to drop out. And this is what he said to it. And this is like, I got to love this guy. And I don't necessarily love that he's wearing the stupid hat. And I'm sorry. Everyone's like, well, man, it's a symbol of the Guardian. I know what it is.
Yeah.
I know what it is. And I don't care. You look like a dork. Okay. Nobody just take the damn thing off. You literally look like, Colonel Eisenhower. And when he took it off in the debate and listened, not to me because he didn't, I don't know him, he actually performed well and went up in the polling. So just take it off. You know what I mean? Take the damn thing off. Here is the video of what he had to say about people bribing him. 1 second, I just got to change audio. And then one more video after this, then we'll comment.
That means if you talk to me and you offer me a bribe, which is unethical, it could be illegal, and I'm going to have to run right to Alvin Bragg and his investigators, and you could be in double trouble. That means...
Hey, who was the taxi cab driver? He was in The Longest Day, The Guns of Navarone, and he was in Escape from New York. He was the taxi cab driver for Snake Plissken. Not Burgess Meredith. It was someone else. Oh my gosh. He was also in
from New York.
I don't know where he's from. I don't know.
No. That was the movie.
Yeah, Escape from New York. Come on, Snake Plissken, Kurt Russell.
Yeah, I just don't know who the cab driver was.
You talk to me.
I know his name, and I'm going to kick myself. He was also
Ernest Borgnine.
There you go, Ernest Borgnine. He was in From Here to Eternity. He was the DI. He's amazing. He just
Airwolf, man.
That's right, exactly. We talked about that last night. So he looks like Ernest Borgnine.
A little bit, yeah.
Who lost a little bit of weight. I like the guy. I'm all about it. Don't drop out. Stay in. Don't leave the race. Here is something that I thought was great. Here is his commitment. And he says, I don't care what it takes. I'm never dropping out. I'm never dropping out. I'm going to stay. Lose the hat, bro.
The elite.
Yeah.
You see, they're trying to push me out. And they're trying to silence you, the hard-working people that make this city work. They haven't recognized you or come to your aid at all. The old ways have been the worst ways, but now they suddenly come to you and they want your vote. No. We mobilize. We hit the streets. You are the volunteers who are going to help me take back this city. That's why you've got to join me. On this Saturday, the first day of early voting, when I cast my vote, and we get all the Sliwa supporters out there in force to cast their votes, because the billionaires are not going to determine who the next mayor is. You, the people, will.
So, to people asking the question, why lose the hat? Because it looks goofy to people who don't know. It's something you don't need. It's a distraction. And people focus on the hat versus focusing on his policies. Yes, I know what the guardian angels are. Okay, but there also is some negative connotation around the guardian angels, predominantly in the 90s and the 2000s. I have no negativity towards the guy. I appreciate it. But it would be like a veteran in a suit wearing a special forces green beret. Why?
Right.
Why? Wear your Deca 10 pin and call it good. It's like someone wearing their Kevlar or their tactical helmet and they're on the SEAL teams. Why? Just wear your trident on your lapel and call it good. Leeroy, your thoughts on this guy? What? No, the hat is his signature. Wait. The hat is his signature. Yes, in his signature, it's doing him harm because people don't take him seriously. See, you guys, politics is optics.
Yep.
It's optics. So if you want to be a serious contender, don't do something that creates a distraction that has people focus on something other than your policy because he has to explain it. Now, a lot of people say don't call this the dumb show because you have to explain it. Well, if I could rename it, it wouldn't be the dumb show. But now it's here and we're here and that's it. But he has to fight through it tooth and nail. And the public opinion and the polls are saying, we like him, but this whole hat thing and what's he doing? How do we take him seriously? It's negatively impacting his campaign. So take it off. And when he did, he listened and he took it off in the debate. He went up like 6 points. Go ahead, Leeroy.
As far as what's his name again? The guy with the
Sliwa.
Sliwa. Let the guy be himself, right? If he thinks he's going to do well with the beret, then hey, that's fine. But when he loses, somebody needs to say, well, you could have gone up 5 points if you'd have just lost the hat. My bigger concern, obviously, is Mamdani. If and when that guy wins, and he will win,
he's going to
he has the same level of charisma that one former ex-president had. And the funny thing is, man, he didn't even come over to the United States. He didn't get naturalized or take his citizenship test until he was in his mid-20s, I think. And so for him to be so far openly left, I think that when he does win and when those policies do start coming out of his office, we may end up seeing a mass exodus out of New York. It's hard to say.
Well, here's the thing. And everyone's okay. You guys and girls, I'm pretty good at politics. I think you know this. So if I say lose the hat, you lose the hat. I'm just letting you know. And the reason why is you're already going to be down 10 points because you're in New York. 10 to 12 points automatically. And you have to bring the middle of the road over. It doesn't, okay, does the hat help? No. No, it doesn't help. So why wear it? You're trying to convert the non-committed voters. And that's about 7.5% of New York are people who will swing either way. Whoever wins that wins this election. So lose the hat. Just get rid of it. Talk about the guardian angels. Talk about cleaning up the streets. Talk about your time with Giuliani. Have people remember fonder times. All of these things are amazing. Yes, 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 yes. I'm for it. But folks, you're already behind the 8 ball.
Right.
You're already behind it. And you're going against Cuomo, who's an independent. If you want Cuomo to drop out 2.5 months ago, you lose the hat and you become a serious contender and you get the GOP to back you. But he's not getting that. And there's a reason why he's not getting that. Donald Trump should be with him. But there's a reason why they're not. And it's honestly because he doesn't listen to the GOP. Now, I don't believe you should listen to everything the GOP says, but when they're writing you a check for $35-40 million, you might want to follow what they have to say. But here's the thing. But on the other side of this, stay in. Because Cuomo is a Democrat. It's literally choose your own shit show. They're both Democrats. Don't give them anything. I don't want Cuomo to win. I want Mamdani to win because ultimately New York is going to take it right in the pucker because they're going to see what socialist policies do to New York. And they are not a California. They've already had mass exodus. And New York is susceptible. And Leeroy's right. These businesses leave. New York's going to take it on the chin. No, not be fake. Okay, so Jody, you're not listening to me. See, you're getting offended. And this is what he does. Don't be fake. Just take off the hat. Let me ask you a question. Are you okay with me wearing a baseball cap if I'm wearing a suit and tie? Is that okay? If that's you, okay, so what if he wears a clown nose? Is that okay?
In order to be taken seriously in politics, you absolutely have to project a particular type of professional image. And what that beret does is it harkens back to the 1990s when they were seen, when that particular group, the Guardian Angels, were seen partly by some media outlets as partial vigilantes, right? So I get that it's not quite a lightning rod, but for lack of a better term, like people know what it is. I get that. But Matt's right. Politics and optics are synonymous, and you have to be able to manage that.
Let me ask you a question. Would you have a meal at the dinner table with a hat on? I wouldn't. My mom raised me that way. When the national anthem's playing, do you take the hat off? Yes. When you're wearing a suit, do you wear a baseball cap? No, you don't. No. Now, if you're at a rally and you decide to put on the hat, great. If you're going to do a Sliwa rally and you decide to put on the red beret, great. But if you're going to go to a fundraiser or you're going to a political event where you're trying to turn over voters, you take the hat off. I'm sorry. There's just, it's completely, does it get you votes? And the answer is no, because the people who know and love Sliwa are going to vote for him. And the people who don't have no idea why he's wearing a hat. And I'm just trying to tell you what public opinion is. What's funny is that what we tend to do as Republicans is we tend to project our values onto the other people who don't have those values, which is, judge people for their worth and their character, not the way they look. Well, that's not the way the world works. It may be the way that we work in our small towns. But you can't tell me if a guy walks in with spiked hair and purple hair and nose rings and he's wearing leathers and he gets off his bike and walks into our local diner that we're all not looking at them and going, what a freak. So for us to sit here and say that looks don't matter and professionalism isn't important, I completely disagree with you. There's a reason why Donald Trump is successful, because the man wears a suit. Have you ever seen him in anything else other than golfing? No. But he wouldn't wear a suit golfing, and he wouldn't wear his golfing outfit into the Oval Office. There are times and places, and professionalism is important. I'm letting you know he doesn't need it to win. He can't win now because it's too late. But I don't want him to drop out. I want him to absolutely steal every vote from Cuomo, and I want New York to get what New York deserves. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Jody. Oh, I know who Jody is. Never mind. Now I understand who it is. Now I know who Jody is. Okay. Jody's one of our trolls. Our regular trolls. So they're doing it. So, yep, be fake. That's exactly what I was saying. I want them to be fake. So, what's going to happen to New York when Mom Donnie wins?
Taxes will likely go up. You will likely see more, ironically, more police force. Thank you, Frank Riley, who donated $24.19, says with each criminal referral, these guys have to be getting nervous. Yeah, that's probably true, Frank. Thank you very, very much for the donation. I would expect taxes to go up, police presence, oddly enough, to also go up, because he might try to use the decrease in criminal activity as his next feather for potentially another run. But I would also expect to see a lot of businesses suffering. Dwayne Woodship donated $20. Thank you very much, Dwayne.
Woodshop.
Dwayne or Dwayne's?
Shop.
Woodshop.
Dwayne's Woodshop, as in a business. Thank you, Dwayne. Appreciate it. So, God, we have one resident troll who every night he creates a new account and he spams the thread, and he's so desperately in love with me. Yeah, I've offered to call him in and pay him. He won't, but I would love to bring him on, but he won't. He's a special person. So I recognize him after about 5 or 6 minutes. Barry Morgenstein, a lot of dead bodies. I don't know if it's going to be that serious. Liv, did you put that in twice? Okay. Dwayne's Woodshop, I enjoy your show. Thank you so much. Sorry, we saw it twice. That's 2 times. We appreciate you. Yeah, I know. Joanne says, isn't being a troll fake? I mean, this guy is so freaking fake. He creates accounts and follows me nonstop. And I think it's about 3 months now that this person is desperately in love with me. So obviously no life, but at least he's not threatening to kill me. So that's good. I don't know if there's going to be dead bodies, Barry, but I think Joanne Townsend, $10. Let's get the ball rolling. Thank you, Matt and Leeroy. Thank you. I think you're going to see crime run rampant. I think you're going to see frivolous spending when it comes to expanded government. I think you're going to see taxation rise. I think you're going to see the cost of living reach California levels. Although New York City already has eclipsed that, I think it bleeds into the suburbs, because what's going to happen is people are going to move out of the city and they're going to move in the surrounding areas of New York City, and you're going to see housing market absolutely just get eaten up, and you're going to see people forced out. Prices are going to go through the roof. You can't build in New York City, so you're going to have to build on the suburbs. It's just, you know what's going to happen to illegals? It's going to become even more of a sanctuary city. This guy is absolutely 100%. There's a video I'll show you that says that Muslims cannot conform, cannot ultimately matriculate and adapt to American society and civilization. As a Muslim says this guy's terrifying. He absolutely hates Jews. He's all about the global intifada, and people should be worried. But you know what? This is New York's fault. I don't have a lot of empathy and sympathy for them. They deserve what they're gonna get.
Right.
And
if that's the type of leadership that you are after, if that's the type of authoritarian rule that you are after within New York City, then if that's how you vote, then you get everything you got coming to you. But it's certainly not going to come in the form of lesser regulations and lower taxes. You're certainly not going to see the cost of living drop. Barry, our friend who's watching right now, Barry Morgenstein, whose book I ordered, by the way, just today. Thank you, Barry. His business isn't going to, it's not like we're expecting the cost of that business to take a dip. No, everything is going to go up. Right. Rent, just every commodity across the board is going to go up. And it wouldn't shock me to find out that this guy tries to implement some sort of new minimum wage hike where he's going to make it, you can't, every business in New York is going to have to pay their workers $25 an hour. Something like that will come down the pike.
He's going to have to, but see, the thing is that he doesn't control the purse strings, but he does control. The thing is that with his influence, he's going to hold people hostage. This is going to be just like an AOC. And the state legislators in New York are going to have to do his bidding because his popularity is going to skyrocket. They're going to try to push this guy for president. They're going to want him in a freaking AOC ticket. This is where we're at. This is what the Just generation believes is that there's this large gap where we thought we could tell our kids that they could have everything, and that, capitalism and democracy and republic and the stars and stripes and the red, white, and blue
limited
somehow
government.
became
Apparently
evil.
not.
And talking that the government was the best solution. This is what we're talking about. Now, I don't want to see listen, I've got friends in New York. I've got a lot of friends in New York. Barry's one of them. And I don't want to see them suffer. But here's the thing, Barry, Florida. And although Florida may not have the clientele of New York, people will travel to see you. I'll fly down to Florida when we want to do our next headshots next year. You will have plenty of business down there. And I know that's not ideal. I mean, the life is there. That's where you're at.
Oddly enough, I would disagree. If I were Barry, and I'm not telling you what to do, man. It's your business. You do you, boo. I love you just the same. But oddly enough, I think Barry, Nashville, because so much of the new music is born there.
Oh, what a shithole.
If you had a studio along where some of those higher end bars and where those, man, I don't know.
That is shit,
might
dude.
Be awesome.
Have you been to Nashville in the last 5 years?
Yeah.
They've had to bring in National Guard into Nashville. The overall crime element, the overall poverty, the illegals that are in Nashville. Nashville's turned into a shithole, bro. I highly disagree. I think 5 years ago, Nashville was a great opportunity, but that's the problem. Everyone found out that Nashville, Tennessee was a great place to live, and all the replants moved there. It's the same thing that they did to Houston, Texas. It's the same thing they did to Denver, Colorado. He says, I love Franklin, Tennessee. Now, see, that's different. Like Virginia, you would never want to move to Fairfax or Ashburn, but you move to Round Hill, or you move to any surrounding areas around here, Purcellville or Leesburg. These are all great places. Right. But Nashville, Tennessee has got a lot of problems. That's all I'm saying. I'm thinking of Memphis, Matt. I'm also thinking of Nashville. I don't know why. Wait, hold on a second. Do I understand the difference between Memphis? Yes, I do. Memphis starts with a memph, and Nashville starts with a Nash. Yes. I think I understand the difference between the two. So, I'd go to Florida. Barry loves Florida. Go to Florida, dude. You would kill it there. Or you know what? Get Sliwa on the show. I know you know him. He's had to have met him. Let's find out. Barry, do you know Sliwa? He knows him. Of course he does. And I'm not bagging on Sliwa. I'm just trying to say,
Sliwa's
dude,
been around.
He's
for
a good
so
dude.
Long.
I like him. I really, really like him. I just really, really wish that there were some things that he did a little bit differently. 3 years we might. Okay, 3 years. There it is. Let's give him some business for 3 years. Hey, who knows? New York may not be a cesspool of hell in 3 years. Maybe.
That's fair.
Or it could be. Barry, what do you think? Is Mondani going to win? I've met him. See, of course Barry met him. Of course he did. Barry, your prediction is the rabid don't mess with Zorhan gonna win? Let's find out. Let's see what Barry says. Barry will tell us the truth. He'll be honest. Used to live in Memphis. Listen, I'm not saying Memphis and Nashville are Watts or Denver. I'm just saying that there's not many good cities left. And even the ones, the old ones that were like our safe havens, like Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, are, see, Barry says the commie Islamist will win. Yes, he will.
Yeah.
He will. Which is so interesting because communists hate Islamist extremists, which is just interesting. Anyway, moving on.
If you think about it, it's because to a very real degree, they're kind of fighting over the same ground. They're fighting for the same hearts and minds of the same people. It's kind of like the Crips and the Bloods that are competing. Yeah.
So I'm not bagging on Nashville. I understand the difference between Nashville and Memphis. And I understand that the only reason why there are certain red states which do not have National Guard in it is because the mayors and the governors have completely disenfranchise themselves with Trump and refuse it. But it doesn't mean it's not needed. Illegal immigration is absolutely rampant in every single city across America. And that's the truth. And they were dumping illegals in every single city. They were dumping illegals right here in our town. It's everywhere. Here we go. Wait, Allison says, announcement of the drop charges against Luigi Mangione is an early sign of an emboldened left. Our constitutional attentive movement is not discouraged. Just a notice, pay attention in 360. Well, they dropped the terroristic charges, but the other charges are there. Barry says, true, Nashville isn't what it used to be. That's my point. Yeah, Oregon, Bobby, that would be great. Here's the Mondani. Listen to this. Just listen to this. Muslims can't assimilate. Listen to this.
There's still, this illusion, and it's partially a result of settler colonialism, that all of us can become New Yorkers, that all of us can settle into the city. And yet there would be these moments where I would be reminded by someone whose intent was to tell me that you do not belong. And one of those first moments was on 9/11, when, before I knew what had happened, my teacher had pulled me and a Muslim classmate of mine out of the class and told us that something has happened and you may be bullied. And I want you to tell me if that happens. And frankly, I was lucky because most Muslim students in the city were not given that kind of care from their teachers. And yet in that moment, I realized that I was not simply another classmate in a middle school. I was distinct. And there was a marker of that distinction on me. And it was something that I would be reminded of again and again. Something when we came back from a trip abroad, being pulled aside at JFK by immigration agents in a double-mirrored room, sitting me down on my own while my family was outside, and asking me if I had just attended a terrorist training camp, and if I had intentions of attacking this country, and if so, what were those plans? And it's something that has continued in the time since, where a few months ago, I went with a client of mine to a bankruptcy court. And as we're going into the court,
I'll take things that never happened for 900, Alex.
Security guard takes me aside and pats me down with additional care and asks me multiple times if I have any weapons of mass destruction on me. And in these moments, the sense of not knowing where home is,
Come on.
No one ever.
they're amplified by what I would see around me.
I'll take things that for double jeopardy. There's no. Do you have any weapons of mass destruction on you? Yes,
sure. In my back pocket.
It's in my anal orifice. Would you like to do a cavity search? Come on. He's from Uganda, guys, and he moved to New York when he was 7, so he's a naturalized citizen. Which is fine because there's a lot of There's a lot of naturalized citizens in the world today in the United States. I don't have a problem. What I have a problem with is a Muslim who is saying that you can't assimilate to American principles and loyalty to America. That's a little concerning. So what you're saying is that if you grew up with ideology that was hostile towards the United States, you could never separate yourself from that hostility. So this guy's openly saying that Muslims in New York are not American, that they are loyal to the Quran and their extremist beliefs that they have them. To me, that's a dog whistle. Why isn't anyone saying, like, if everything Trump says is a dog whistle, he's recreating the ballroom, that's a Nazi dog whistle to 1925, then why wouldn't you say that this guy's dog whistling to Muslim extremists? Go ahead, Leeroy.
Right. Well, no. The only thing I was going to suggest was that, like, if somebody had truly asked him that, maybe the correct response would have been, yes, in 40 years, I'm going to try and become the governor and then implement a bunch of leftist ideology and policies. That'll be my weapon of mass destruction.
Yeah, I've got a weapon of mass destruction. It's the size of a baby's arm. Curtis Lawhorn, good to have you back, man. Good to have you here. Just got done finishing a job. Can he run for president? I don't think so. No, he can't run for president. But I'm just saying that that's what they want. You know what I'm saying? That's what they want. Well, hold on a second. No, he can't run for president. His parents, if he was born on a U.S. Hold on. No, he can't run for president. So that's the good news. Isaac Castillo donated $20. The fact that Mamdani, an absurd candidate, can clown Cuomo, a moral high ground, public policy, and COVID response is laughable. It shows me how terrible the Democratic Party is right now. I'm from Cali, too. Yeah, Isaac, it's pretty bad. Real quick, have anyone seen Jonathan Whiten? Will you please let him know he won the drawing on Monday for $100? Someone let him know. I'd appreciate it. I think that's enough on Mamdani. The guy's a socialist. He's a douche.
Yeah.
He's going to win, and that's it. John Fetterman. Listen, folks, John Fetterman is not a Republican. And a lot of people are saying he should join no, he shouldn't. He's a blue-collar Democrat. And although I have mad respect for blue-collar Democrats, and I'm the one that told you that this guy was not the devil and it was not a wolf in sheep's clothing. I told you that Fetterman was an okay dude. I told you that his hoodies were just who he was. And you guys are like, oh, he's a lefty. No, he was not a lefty. I told you he was going to win. I told you Dr. Oz didn't stand a chance in hell that this guy was going to mop the floor with him because Dr. Oz is about as fake as they come. But this guy is a good guy, and I like his stances, most of them. I don't like some of his social policies, but that's okay. But what he says here, I disagree, and let's see if Leeroy agrees or disagrees too. You ready? Here it is.
Yeah.
Republican colleagues have proposed nuking the filibuster to force the government to reopen. What do you?
Yeah, of course. Carve it out for that, absolutely. We ran on that. We ran on killing the filibuster, and now we love it. You know, it's like carve it out so we can move on.
Republican colleagues.
All right, so hold on that. Listen, a lot of people are saying Mamdani is pictured with a 9/11. It doesn't matter. There's nothing this guy can do. This guy could come out and they could say he had sex with a goat and it was on only animals. It doesn't matter. He's going to win. Because this is why. Because New Yorkers over the age of 35 are absolutely with Sliwa and Cuomo. 120%, like 65% of voters. This guy, Mondani, owns like 72% of the youth. You're not going to win New York without the youth. They're all voting for Mondani. And the numbers are just astronomically bad. Women are voting for Mondani too. Women love this guy because he's a handsome, dark-haired, dark-skinned, I want to kill Jews and I hate America guy. Go ahead, Leeroy.
No, they see him currently as the type of charismatic, to Matt's point, darker skin, somebody who came up, from another country, but still managed to make something up for themselves here in the U.S. So the youth has latched onto that. That's a positive message for them that they can get behind. And Matt's absolutely right. Without the youth vote, nobody else is going to win. Mamdani has this in the bag. He doesn't even need, really, honestly, to put out a lot of political ads.
And he hasn't been. He hasn't. His campaign, and Cuomo's doing nothing. Nothing. Cuomo's doing absolutely nothing. The reason why he doesn't have any money. It says, isn't that an oxymoron, blue-collar Democrat? No. Democrats founded the unions. Democrats were absolutely blue-collar. The blue dog Democrats who voted for Reagan are the reason Reagan won. There's nothing wrong with a blue dog Democrat or a blue-collar Democrat. I mean, these are...
That's an old-school Democrat. Yeah.
Yeah, they're union-based. They're predominantly of the Workers' Party, socially conservative. They're fiscally conservative, but they're socially liberal. Hell, I could even been considered a blue-collar Democrat or a blue dog Democrat at one point in my career. When I was younger, a lot younger. That's not true. That's a lie. No, I was never a Democrat. I was always conservative when it came to policy. Fiscally, always conservative, capitalistic. But socially, I'm fairly liberal. But I was a part of a union when I was younger, but that was my job. So I there's things that I did. Abortion, I was a lot more open to than I am now. I've always been a Second Amendment advocate, but there were things that were somewhat liberal in my dispositions, but not anymore. But when I was younger, for a brief period of time, for a couple of years, and that was predominantly outside of the military, before the military, that I, dabbled in blue dog mentality. But I also came from California, and that's why Reagan won. California is from the blue dog and blue collar Democrats. So,
I think when people are younger, generally speaking, they're more idealistic and they're open to just kind of, we'll say, some much more progressive ideas. But if you maintain this learning process, if you're more than willing to take in new information and then make course corrections based off of that new information, I think with that type of attitude, eventually you find yourself on right-leaning. I honestly do, because there's no one who I have ever met that works in the government that has implicit trust in the government. And we all know that they spend too much. That's a given. Wow, look at Barry.
Yeah, there's Barry with Mr. Sliwa. Give him a call, man. You've seen him recently. Tell him to come on the show. I'd love to have him on. I really would. I would love to talk to him. And listen, what he did with the Guardian Angels is amazing. I'm not knocking him. Just take off the damn hat. Just take off the hat. It's too late now. It doesn't matter. Leave the hat on. Leave your boots on too. I don't care. Now it's too late. But you know what? Don't drop out. I'm telling you, stay in it, because it's not going to matter. Cuomo's not going to win. So stay in it. Get as many votes as you can, and maybe you can run again after they see this happen, because I would vote for you. I'm not from New York. Matt, so how did Obama become president? He wasn't a born citizen. Sure he was.
Yes, he was.
I'm not going to get into that stuff. I'm not getting into that, Maria. No, there's absolutely zero evidence that Barack Obama was not a U.S. citizen, and I'm not going to listen to anything else. And honestly, it doesn't matter anyway. It doesn't. I've seen we went through this in 2014. This was all created by the Hillary Clinton campaign. This was 100% through the Podesta emails. Hillary Clinton did this in 2004, 2005, predetermined from Obama's run. They went ahead and did an op-ed piece on this, and then it was leaked by the GOP, and this is where Donald Trump got a hold of it. I'm not going to defend Obama on this show, but I just... Now,
let's keep the fact. I mean, facts are facts, and the fact is he is an American citizen.
Yes. And the other thing is he a Muslim? Yes. most assuredly, all the way through college, and it's very well known. And his complete fake towards Christianity was a complete joke. So yes, of course he's Muslim, and of course those were his beliefs. You can read his thesis, you can read his papers on it, you can read who his idols were. It doesn't matter. Obama's gone and he's worthless, and I don't care.
He was kind of the first Islamocrat that really made it through American politics successfully, you know?
Yeah. And, people are also saying that there's a difference between a birth certificate and what is it called? A birth what?
Naturalization?
No. Because he wouldn't be able to be president. There's a birth certificate. Hold on. I'll tell you this story. I can't remember what the name is. There's a copy of, so there's report of birth, certificate of naturalization, certificate of citizenship, U.S. passport, and certified copy of a birth record. Then there's a birth certificate. Two different things. I had a copy of birth record. It wasn't a birth certificate, which was the hospital's little thing that they filled out that showed my birth, but it was ceremonial. Mm-hmm. So when I went ahead and I joined the military, I had to go and get my birth certificate from California, and they had to get it because we submitted it, but then my preliminary background acceptance came through and they denied me, and they said, you can't prove he's a natural citizen. This is a certificate of birth. Not a certificate of birth. It's not a birth certificate. It is a birth of record. So they're two very different things. As far as Obama, you guys can have whatever opinion you want. I'm not here to argue with you about it. I've already done that. I've already had that conversation. So yeah, I don't have any desire. So let's listen to this again by Fetterman, and I want you to let's get to the point of what we were talking about here. By the way, donations are open. $94.19 is the total, folks. Would love to push that and have what we did last night, which was a really good push.
Republican colleagues.
Yes, registration of birth. Thank you very much, Kat. California registration of birth is accepted. It's not accepted in any other state.
Proposed nuking the filibuster to force the government to reopen. What do you?
Yeah, of course. Carve it out for that. Absolutely. We ran on that. We ran on killing the filibuster. Now we love it. It's like carve it out so we can move on.
All right. So carve it out. He's in the nuclear option, which you can't use the nuclear option on legislation. You can do it for certain appropriations bills. It can't be used for appropriations bills. It can be used for legislative process. So if there is a piece of legislation which is stopping the forward progress, you have the ability to go ahead and amend those rules with a nuclear option. This has nothing. You can't pass a continuing resolution with a nuclear option. Right. But let's talk about it. Filibuster. Good thing, bad thing.
Good thing. And I will say this, I'm not a huge fan of Fetterman, but the fact that he at least called out his own party for saying, hey, look, at one point we wanted to get rid of it. Now we love it. Yeah. Right. The fact that he recognizes that and acknowledges that there is some level of hypocrisy that has been built into their policies for the last, 8-9 years is kind of refreshing. And again, I'm not a huge fan, but that was nice to hear.
If I get that my other contact, I'm listening to everything you said because I agree. So if I don't agree with you, I completely listen and I'm intent. But when I agree with you, I just let you go and then just move on because there's no point because I'm not going to disagree with you. I agree with everything you just said. I think the filibuster is absolutely essential. It stops poor legislation from getting through. Correct. And if you're going to make legislation, essentially everything you do in government is amending the Constitution, whether you agree or not. That's the truth. Every piece of legislation you can tie back to everything in the Constitution. And I believe if you're going to make changes that are unilaterally changing the form of government, you need a 2/3 majority and a constitutional law and amendment needs to happen and needs to be ratified and codified. Once that happens, you need a 3/4 majority to change any amendment. So all these little legislative nuance that they use to circumvent the Constitution, I think are useless. Except for the filibuster, which I believe absolutely protects the difficulty of getting poor legislation pushed through by one person. which is the 50-50 vote plus tie with the vice president. And I want you to think about Kamala Harris. How much could she have done if they would have had a 51+ majority to pass most of their legislation?
Right.
Donald Trump wouldn't be president anymore, because what would happen is they would have changed and taken him off the ballot and simply just changed the federal constitution with the way things were done. So I believe the Supreme Court is the court of the land, and it needs to remain that way. And that's what checks and balances. And too much power in Congress is a bad thing. So I'm with Leeroy.
Exactly why that level of power has been broken up into the 3 separate branches. That is almost a perfect example of why we do that.
So what I was saying is that this contact, I've got a contact in this eye, and it's fantastic. But this eye, I've got nothing, so it's a little fuzzy. My brain's getting used to it. But once I close my contact eye, it's perfect. So all I need to do is get another contact for this one, and I'll be able to see. Sorry, I'm very happy. I'm sick of wearing my glasses, and I'm very excited. So I can't even tell that this one's in. It's the first time my body has ever taken contact. So I'm just really happy, Leeroy. I'm sorry.
Republican colleagues.
A lot of people say, hey, I think that the filibuster needs to go away. I disagree.
No, we need to hang on to that.
Yeah, I think the filibuster needs to stay. I think Citizens United needs to be shed and completely gone. But I am absolutely fine with the filibuster, because it is a check and balance that is needed in our government, and passing with a 50 majority, just think how much damage Democrats can do. We want less government, right? Well, then you have to support the filibuster. If you don't, then you're a liberal. You want more government, because that's what it would do. The moment that you shred the filibuster, more government will take place naturally by osmosis.
I think the argument there is that there are or have been occasions where the filibuster has been used against the Republican Party, and that's true enough. It absolutely has happened. But that doesn't mean that it is a tool that we need to, you don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Everyone's heard that. Same thing here. This, just because it's a tool that has been wielded against us at one point in time, doesn't mean we need to get rid of it.
And honestly, I'm fine with the Republicans having pieces of their legislation revoked too.
Yeah.
Less government. Less government is the answer. It's always the answer. More government is never the answer. Like, it's not cowbell, folks. It's not cowbell. We're conservatives. It's literally in our name. So, and if you oppose that, then maybe you're not a conservative, because that is like the fundamental rule of being a conservative, is limited government. That is the one thing that we are the Michael J. Fox of family ties. Limited government is always the answer, and Reagan is never wrong. I disagree with the Reagan thing, but Reagan made mistakes, but I do believe that limited government is always the answer. All right, so Charlie Kirk, a video you guys haven't seen and you need to see, because it was that good. It's an amazing video, and it's so simple. It just shows you his character. He was at an event, and the main camera hub needs to be unplugged. Liv, hurry up, Liv, please. All right, let's see if this works. Go slow. The hub, the black hub. Liv, not the Mac. The black hub needs to be unplugged and plugged back in. Dust that off. No, don't blow it. Just use your hand. Please. It needs to be cleaned off. One swipe with your hand. Don't put it in the air, honey. One swipe with your hand, please. Thank you. Sorry to raise my voice. Just listen to me, please. So you got to pinch the power, unplug it, and then plug. Everyone just hold on. We're getting it fixed. Honey, it's a big, giant, thick black cable. You need to pinch it. You need to pinch the outlet and pull it out. It's got a little tab built into the rubber gasket. Pull it out and put it back in. Try not to unplug anything else. Hi, Ash. I know. Come here, baby. Come here. I know. Be careful. Sweetie, look at me. I need you to take a breath. Stop. Look at me. Relax. When you get stressed, you're making mistakes. Look at me. Bottom thumb. Tip of finger. push and pull out, okay? It's like a printer cable. Honey, calm down, hon. I need you to really hurry. Because if we don't get signal here, it's going to shut off. Just hang tight, everybody. We're getting it fixed. Get out of the way. I'll get it. Away. Test 1, 2, 3. Okay. The good news is we didn't lose any channels. It saved it, which is good news. Let me try to get you in here. And I gotta find Leeroy. Why is Leeroy not in here? Leeroy, your camera. Hold on. There you are. Okay, that worked. Main cell. Hi, everybody. Wave. Okay, you guys are good. Thanks. So, Ecamm quit. Just never seen it before. Been doing this for 5 years and never had Ecamm quit. It just, something happened.
Say, we've had that for a long time and there's never been any issues from it.
No, the nice thing is it saves the feed. So if you disconnect or lose power, it saves it for like 15 minutes, which is really cool. It's a great feature, but you didn't lose any channels, I think. Let me check. Nope. On Twitter, on Rumble, on Facebook. We lost a few on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch. Everything works. All right, good. Yeah, I know. It's my camera. That's my autofocus on my camera. It's all fixed. Everything's good. We're good. All right. So, Charlie Kirk, let's get back to it. Folks, donations. We got to hit it. We got to hit it. That took some time. We are at 2020 and we're not even a third there yet. We've got to hit it. So, Liv, can you make sure we're good on YouTube? Any donations we got? All right, let's rock and roll. But yeah, please do me a favor. If you could help with donations, we would really appreciate it. We don't want to sit here and talk about donations, and we're going to have to if we don't start hitting it. So we got to crush it. So let's go. Please help out. Here is Charlie Kirk. Was an overflow, did not have enough seats. And Charlie Kirk decided to come on out and do the following.
Buddy. Hey. Guys, How are you? Unfortunately, ran out of seats, guys. So just do it out here. I have two. Do the whole program out here. You guys do the whole thing out here. How are you guys doing? We want to take some pictures and stuff. We'd add more seats if we could, but we don't run the university here. So, you know, this is a very right-wing university here, UNC Chapel. Very known for conservatism.
Curtis says your show is always top-notch and informative. And thank you for what you do. Thank you, Curtis.
You guys want to do some pictures? We can. Sorry, guys, we're out of seats. So, but you guys want to do some selfies? We'll do that. And come on in, guys. We'll do some selfies, okay? Yeah.
What a class act.
Isn't that awesome?
Honestly.
Jeffrey Styles through Super Chat. God bless, $5. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Go ahead, Leeroy. You take this one.
What an amazing gesture. 9 times out of 10, if your audience is out of sight, then they're typically out of mind. And here's Charlie Kirk, fully aware of the seating limitations, and it's just like, you know what? We're going to go make this right to at least the appropriate degree that he can. And he goes outside and says, hey, look, let's do selfies. I'm sorry not everyone could get in. That is a Class A kind of guy. Just top notch. I love that.
Yeah, I'd never do that for anybody. I don't care. Yeah. So if there's no money in it, I'm not. No, of course. I mean, yeah, that's what you do. That's what you do. I mean, it's the right thing. And listen, I've rubbed shoulders with quite a few celebrities, especially at Apple. And we ran 4 very prominent stores in the Los Angeles area. So we saw celebrities all the time. But my time working with hockey players and baseball players, was massive. And these guys would come out after every game, after having a 3-hour game. They start practice at 6 a.m. They get a nap in the middle of the day, and then they're playing until 11, 12 o'clock at night. And then they're out there signing autographs again. That means the world to me. And I kind of grew up with that. And I grew up with Coach Bill McCartney from the Colorado Buffaloes. A lot of people know Coach McCartney because of his religious beliefs and just what a fantastic human being he was. And he would always come out and always talk to people, and he would always take that time. To me, that's really important. Next video is of instant karma. I always love these videos of people who do stupid things who get instant karma. Really not a lot of commentary on this other than, wow, that's great. Here it is. Whoops. Let me close this, and then I got to reopen it. 1 sec. Likes. There it is. Okay.
That's salt.
Yeah, the rest of it is salt. That's karma.
Whoops.
Just gonna come off your bed. You got your head through?
Going to jail for something really stupid. This happens all the time. I mean, I see 100 of these a day when it comes to this. And there's a way to do things and there's a way not to. And here is a perfect example of how you do it. This guy drives up in a Cybertruck. He goes and gets a JBL powered subwoofer and like 12-inch system. These are loud. I mean, these put out the sound of home theater quality systems, and JBL is state of the art. They're great speakers. They're amazing. For a low price speaker, it's really good. But this thing's massive, and this guy decides it actually takes 120 volt power to run this speaker. So luckily the Cybertruck has a 120 volt outlet in it. And here is the video. This is how you troll without getting arrested. This is how you get back with stupid people. This was at the No Kings protest, and they decided to go ahead and pull in a Cybertruck with this JBL speaker and play Donald Trump's victory speech live at the highest decibel rating it possibly could. Here it is.
I love that.
This was a movement like nobody's ever seen before. And frankly, this was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. There's never been anything like this in this country and maybe beyond. And now it's going to reach a new level of importance because we're going to help our country heal. Help our country heal. Movement.
That's how you do it.
That is amazing.
You might get something for noise ordinance, but that's not a residential area. That's a high traffic area. You're not going to get a noise ordinance complaint there. So let it rock. But that's how you do it. By the way, that speaker's like 150 pounds, and it's a PA system, and it definitely rocks. But that's how you do it. You don't throw something at somebody. That's assault. And
no, that's straight up assault.
So
and the fact of the matter is, I've seen this time and time again. I think everyone has. If anybody who's been monitoring social media, you'll understand what I'm about to tell you. I think that the further left people have gone, the more emotionally triggered they get. And they're people on the far left tend to be just much easier to trigger, right? And the moment they get overly emotional, that's when you start seeing, all right, I'm going to throw a cup of soda on this person or paint or whatever the case is. And you never really see that from the true conservatives who are just like, all right, let's slow down. Let's process things, right? You might have the outer fringe of people on the right who still get emotional, but it's far, far less than anything you'd see on the far left.
Right. It's just genius. It's absolutely genius.
Yeah. No, that's great. I love that.
So I've been really, really watching these girls lately, and I want to get on their show. It's the chicks on the right, and I think I think it'd be a perfect fit for me. Middle-aged women love me.
Okay.
And Leeroy. And I think chicks on the right, we would do well. So
I have watched them every morning on my drive in. I will put their podcast on just to see if there's any updated news for the morning. I like them.
They're great, and we should definitely reach out to them and try to get on, because people are going to their page all the time now. After I've said I've been watching them and going, hey, you got to go on the Don't Unfriend Me show, and we wouldn't have them on. Well, we would, but we'll probably need to go there. But I would love to be on their show, because I think like I said, I think it would be hilarious. They are watching this chick, and the chicks on the right are watching this chick make a complete ass of herself. Listen to this. This is the problem with the brains of liberals. Just try to rationalize this.
Unpopular opinion.
Oh, God.
If you have a credit card and you hate people who ask for handouts, you are a person asking for a handout.
What?
Hold on, let's finish this. Let's see if this makes any more sense.
A credit card is somebody else's money. Oh my God. So for all you right-wingers who are all, stop giving people handouts.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If you have a credit card, you're a hypocrite.
Oh, God.
Oh, man, somebody needs dental plan.
Yeah.
Meth.
Go look in a mirror.
Okay, because you shouldn't.
Also, if you have ever applied for a loan, you were applying for a handout.
No.
That's not how loans work.
It's not how it works, sweetie.
Yeah.
For all you extremists who are all, stop giving them handouts. Like,
dentures.
Did you buy your house flat out? Did you write a check for the full amount for your house's value? No, you did not. You got a loan. You asked for a handout because you couldn't afford a house.
No.
She's so
That's
proud.
how it works.
So
The credit
She's
system,
very earnest.
I love how she's so proud. It's like, I had a thought, and I'm gonna run with it and keep going. It's not done. We're almost done.
She's very
It's a
earnest in her
handout.
stupidity. Okay.
And the fact that most of you can't see this.
I don't think any of us can see it, because it's just not true.
We see.
No.
We see a lot right now.
Yes.
Go back to school.
Okay. You know what? You guys don't meth with her.
That's
okay?
right. That's so true.
Oh.
Don't meth with her.
What? She genuinely believed all of
She
that.
did.
Absolutely.
There's no question. She was straight up serious and proud.
You guys need to go back to school. Don't mess with her. Support.
Yeah. I didn't know double wides had single double pane windows. It's they're upgrading. Leeroy, can you please explain to the audience who probably knows, but why is a credit card and a personal loan not a handout?
Well, I mean, the whole concept behind it is just the fact that those words just got uttered by that crazed chick is that's pretty frightening. And if for the people who don't understand how credit cards or home loans work, when you go to a bank, you're making a promissory note to say, all right, look, I'm going to borrow this much money, pay it back with interest, and that will conclude the business transaction. And that's exactly what it is. You are paying back with interest the loan. Same thing with credit cards. You are being charged to use that money, right? But you also have to pay it back. I don't understand the drama.
I just love how proud she was for being wrong. And this is like
right?
this is most liberals. Like this is fairly consistent to everything I see. Today I did this video. Very proud of it. And I didn't make it. It's from Family Guy. And honestly, I've never watched an episode of Family Guy, and I never will. Even though Seth MacFarlane is hilarious at times when he's not being political. But I just don't like the cartoon work. The only cartoon that I like that I don't care about the artwork is South Park, and that's because it is impeccable in its humor. And I well, at least appreciated it when it wasn't all political and one-sided. But here is the video of what it's like arguing with a liberal. And this one's the one's doing fairly well on the site right now. Here it is.
Sorry, Kevin Bacon wasn't in Footloose. What? Of course he was. No, he wasn't. You lose. Of course he was. He was the star. Nope, you're wrong. Look it up. I don't have to look it up. It's common knowledge. Nope. He was on the cover of People magazine when the movie... Everyone knows Kevin Bacon was a star of Footloose. It was a huge movie. He was the lead.
Drop it hard.
I mean, does it get any better?
Spot on.
Does it get any
spot on?
Does it get any better than that?
I've heard a lot of liberals actually utter that phrase like it's supposed to end the argument. Quote unquote, look it up. Like,
oh, I hate that.
What does that even mean? Look it up. What, like you have these statistics in your back pocket because you should be able to quote a source or reference a site where you got your information.
Since when does a singular argument solve a multifaceted problem?
Exactly. It doesn't.
I can't think of any, like, instead of like breathing is good. Okay.
No, it's not.
It's pretty much that. That's a singular argument, and that's not a multifaceted issue. It's pretty much everyone agrees that breathing is good. But the moment that you say, "Oh, well, what if there's chlorine gas?" Okay. Well, now you're changing the statement of breathing is good because breathing most assuredly would be bad. But it's not because breathing is bad. It's because there's chlorine gas in the air. So what people do is they go, "Is abortion wrong?" Yes, morally it's wrong. Who decides? Well, there's two. One is the Bible, where we get most of our, we get two moral codes that we live by. One is natural law, which is what we've agreed upon as a society. And the second, and Bobby, I'll get you in 2 seconds. The second is, I can just say now, Bobby, thank you so much for your donation. We love you. The second is biblical morality, which we find in Christianity. Those are the two fundamental ideas and concepts where we've nurtured all of our laws and our moral code from. That's why when people say United States government, it has nothing to do with Christianity, you're absolutely wrong. It has everything to do with Christianity. And the founders said so. In fact, 92% of them said so. So when you change and then say, well, what if she's a black, lesbian, transgender man with one leg who has a speech impediment and she gets raped and then she has a baby, can she get an abortion? Okay, under that circumstance of 0.0000000000000000000000000000001% of all abortion cases, fine, I'll give you that. But that is what is known as a misnomer or an outlier. And an outlier or data that is not achievable in a consistent state is negated from the final outcome. Always. Variables happen in science, variables happen in mathematical equations, and those variables are ultimately solved for. So when you sit here and say, well, what about a zygote? Okay. Sure, under that circumstance, in a complete scenario, which is an abnormality and rare, yes. What about an ectopic pregnancy or whatever it's called? Great. In that situation where they happen fairly regularly, that child will not be conceived by natural means. And there is no life that's going to happen there. Lois Bentley, 2110. So my point is that when you change the argument and when you say, okay, well, BLM is bad because there were, 212 protests causing $1.5 billion in damage. And then you go, well, yeah, but what about J6? Well, J6 was bad too, but even remotely not even close to even the most basic riot that happened in BLM, from damages, from violence, from arson, from all the things that took place, isn't even remotely close. So you keep moving the goalposts. You keep creating these logical fallacies where the original argument is nothing of what it used to be. So when somebody says, real quick, and then I'm done, when you say credit cards and loans are handouts, no. A handout is something without any strings attached. A loan and a credit card is if you were to take the money and give the money back at exactly zero interest in principal, just paid the principal, you would be in default and you would go to collections, your credit score. You could even face a lawsuit because that's not the contract. The contract is that you are going to get money and pay back a fee over the length of that loan. And if you don't, there are consequences. That's not a handout. That is an agreed upon transaction, just like when you give the bank money in a savings account, upon agreed upon that they'll keep it safe and give you a low interest rate every single quarter or year, whatever you buy into. You are agreeing upon a certain set of standards. A very different thing than a handout. Go ahead, Leeroy. Sorry, too much.
No, I mean, I completely agree with all of that. And the original poster that was done off of the Chicks on the Right, their show, that's just somebody who doesn't understand how money works and shouldn't be trusted with it. Oddly enough, that would also be the first person to tell you why we need higher taxes and what we should be spending our money on. That would be the first person to tell you, yes, you should have this or shouldn't have that, because that's how that generation tends to think.
Yep. By the way, I've figured out Balls when he logs in really easy now. Not simple. Allison B says, don't spend your time making fun of the ignorant by making snarky comments about dentures and meth. Refer them to Dave Ramsey. Turn your attention to those who truly stand a chance of ruining our American dream. People like that have absolutely a chance of ruining the American dream. Ignorance is what is absolutely destroying our country right now. And people 100%. People like that who have a platform, who are able to communicate with people, deserve to be called out. Listen, we keep turning the other cheek, and my thought process is we need to stop. We need to take these things head on. When something is said that isn't correct, if you allow it to live in that space, then it's your fault. I truly believe that. If you see a piece of trash on the ground and you're outside your front yard and you don't pick it up, you're then responsible. If you allow a lie to live without challenging it and you know better, then you are complicit by its design. Go ahead, Leeroy.
For the people who do like to quote that particular biblical verse of turning the other cheek, one thing that I've kind of gotten out of my rudimentary Bible studies is that those those are rules for you necessarily. Those are for your personal interactions with other people, right? If somebody does something to you personally. However, when you're talking about policy changes, things that affect society, or things that affect larger groups, bigger than just yourself, I think you could make the argument that that is a more altruistic reason, right, to not turn the other cheek, to absolutely make your voice known, and to stop authoritarianism where you can, even just speaking it. Have that verbal defense. Don't turn the other cheek when it comes to things like policy.
And as far as Dave Ramsey, Dave Ramsey is an extremely well put together human being, conservative mind. He's worth $200 million. He has FU money. He can sit on a pedestal. What's amazing is most of these people who are self-help capitalists usually have all the answers because they have all the money. And good for him. I'm all about capitalism. He made it and he earned it. Good for him. But you can change your disposition and be holier than thou when you have $200 million. I don't have $200 million. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about the things that are in my orbit, and shit like that is. It's not in Dave Ramsey's orbit. Dave Ramsey has never met a meth head, or at least hasn't met one in the last 30 years. The guy lives in a palace. The guy has an ungodly amount of money, and he lives in the haves. Now, am I doing well? Sure, I'm doing well. I'm in a good house, good neighborhood, good life, and you know, doing well for myself. So's Leeroy, so's Amy. We're all doing well. But there is a difference between don't get down with the peasants. And that's not my mentality. I get down with anyone who says things that aren't true. That's me. Matt, what did Crowder call it? Defensive violence? Yes. If it was the Republicans running in Democrat areas, have a clean up the city campaign, go out and volunteer to pick up trash, scrub graffiti, etc., the counter acts the Antifa and bookings protest. He ignores discipline will come to poverty and shame. He who needs correction is honored. Okay. Here is Candace Owens being completely crazy even more. Listen.
She's the gift that keeps on giving.
Oh my God, she's like herpes, dude. It just like every day it just flares up. She, like, folks, I have never seen somebody so convinced that what they're saying is a lie when they're saying it. She knows she's lying. Every other word, I want you to count how many times she says speculation and covers her butt. No, nobody said, oh, you know what? We got another troll. Bye, Julian. You got on that account pretty quick. You haven't been down the meth road because nobody's making fun of meth. Grow up. See ya. That's balls, by the way. Balls now, I know. Because it's anyone who has the stupid takes, it's balls. Julian Newman's balls, by the way. Because I just banned her on Facebook and then she shows up on YouTube. I've been on meth. No, you know what? Even if you have, this isn't the show for you. Moving on. Here is Candace Owens. Now I've got balls down like nothing else. And that's not a euphemism. Not just him, but I have balls down. I mean, ask Leeroy, he knows. Candace, here we go.
Actually believe that this was a military hit that involved foreign actors and also literal actors. I believe that day ran something akin to JFK's assassination. I believe that there were therefore multiple.
Listen to the I believes and the speculation. Count. Let's start over. Count. I believe I can fly and speculation.
All right, I'll keep track.
All right, here we go. Let's go. Hurry up. You can't do this in your head?
Go.
Actually believe that this was a military hit that involved foreign actors and also literal actors. I believe that day ran something akin to JFK's assassination. I believe that there were therefore multiple decoys on the ground. I do not believe, just so I'm clear here, that the person who was walking up the stairs killed Charlie. In fact, my suspicion is that photo was not even shot on the same day. I do not believe that the person who ran across Losey rooftop killed Charlie. I think it was another decoy. I do not believe that shot came from a Losey Center at all. And we all know that decoy George Zinn didn't kill Charlie. And I received an interesting tip about him as well, that he's much more connected than what meets the surface. He potentially has connections to the federal department, familial connections to the federal department, and we are plotting that. It's getting interesting. Anyway, that would suggest that there are thus a total of 4 decoys, like George Zinn, Staircase Guy, Maroon Shirt Guy, and Losey Center Guy, none of which I believe actually pulled the trigger. Call it a hunch. I think it's much more likely that Lance Twiggs is the one that is walking in that maroon shirt. His build is nothing like Tyler Robinson's build. Lance Twiggs is thinner. And obviously I'm speculating here, but I believe Tyler Robinson was involved and he was in fact driving around campus on that day, therefore assisting in the costume changes, likely picking up clothing. And as we broke the story, Tyler was seen at Dairy Queen. And what was he seen doing, as I told you? Dumping clothing in the cemetery.
I had 15.
Yeah, I mean, because
actually believe
if we just have to say CYA type language, cover your ass so you can't get sued.
God.
It's like 15, 16 something.
That's because she took the Jones, what's his name? Alex Jones. She took a page out of that book to say, at least she's smart enough to go, all right, I'm going to put I believe in there. That way I don't get blasted by Charlie Kirk's family and sued into oblivion.
Every time somebody says I believe, I check out of the conversation. I'm just done. I'm done. Once you say I believe or I think or, in my opinion, I'm just good. Great. That's great. Facts. Candace Owens is nuts. I say it again. And anyone that still follows her,
this was a military hit.
And people are like, you need to trust her. Give her a chance. Why are you so afraid of what she has to say? None of those things are true. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of anything that Candace has to say because everything that Candace says is a lie. Everything. And if she's right about anything, it's in spite of what she says. You should be interested in this one. Folks, we're not going to do a commercial. We're $207.28. We're $93, $92.72 away. So if we have a chance, please, let's get it. I'm not going to go to a commercial, but I am going to put up our goal. And we now have a total of about 14 minutes left to hit goal. So if you would not mind, if you have not had a chance to donate to the show and you're like, hey, now is the time. That would help us. I want to be out of here by 9 o'clock. We're going to try to stay on time for Leeroy's sake, my sake, and everybody's sake. But before we do that, you can go to thedumbshow.com/donate. I'm going to put up the Venmo numbers and you can scan these at any time. And it'll take you right to Venmo or PayPal. You can also use Apple Pay. You can use your credit card, debit card, however you want to do it. 100% secure by going to thedumbshow.com/donate. And that's it. It's pretty simple. You donate and that's it. We've had, I think, 6,000 donations on this show. And it's easy, simple, and it keeps the show running. Yeah. Because you fund it. It's that easy. Here we go. Here is a video that this person is worried. I think it's a woman who's trying to become a man. And worried about gender-affirming care is going to be gone in the big, beautiful bill. And it couldn't be further from the truth. Here is this.
So you're telling me that if the big, beautiful bill passes, I will lose everything. I will lose the bottom surgery that I have been on a wait list for 2 years. I will lose my testosterone, all gender-affirming care. Gone. Just gone. And y'all are okay with that. You think that trans people shouldn't exist, so you're trying to eradicate our health care. I thought you cared about kids, because, they're about to die. A lot. So
all right. So if you don't get gender affirming care, you're going to die. That's the statement. I wish they would have said I believe so we could just move on. First of all,
that would have been way easier.
Right. So let's be really clear here. What we're saying is is that insurance companies can't make the decision when it comes to children to chemically castrate or alter them for eternity based upon their own personal politics. Number one. Number two, you don't have a right to mutilate a child as an adult without parents' consent, and even then you're not allowed to do it. And lastly, nothing is saying that you can't go to another state and you can't pay for that out of pocket. We're just saying insurance does not cover it. And it's very limited that it's specifically for youth of a certain age that parents have to be notified, and it can't be done without consent. It's pretty simple. Leeroy, are we missing something here?
No, I don't think so. I would also add that for anybody who has healthcare insurance, God forbid someday you do get sick, you end up with whatever it is. Your healthcare insurance, the premiums for which you paid for, right, are going to be covered through your insurance company, right? Your treatments. So if I end up one day with cancer, heart attack, whatever the case is, I expect, because I pay my insurance company, I expect that my insurance company will flip the tab, right? Now, when we're talking about congenital adrenal hyperplasia, also known as transgenderism or trans, right, as the world has come to know it, how is that any different? If you have insurance, then it should cover this condition, congenital adrenal hyperplasia, right? I at no point have ever said, hey, because I've come down with something, I need to make sure that the rest of the taxpayers, Matt and whoever else is watching, that you guys need to flip the bill for it. So if I end up with an $80,000 bill, right, I would expect Matt or whoever it is that's watching, Barry, any of the listeners, to flip that bill for me. But we expect that, or the people who are afflicted with congenital adrenal hyperplasia, they expect it from everyone else. And I don't understand that argument. It doesn't make any sense to me.
So Julian Newman, if there's been a mistaken identity, a real friend wouldn't get upset. They would understand that we have a troll who comes on who does exactly what you just said. And instead of getting butthurt, maybe you should just explain yourself. So you saying go fuck myself isn't going to help. You were banned because you were on two different platforms, and at least someone who used your name went ahead and started spamming the show. And if you can't understand that and follow along, well, then good riddance. Nobody is banning you for your comment. We're banning you because we have a troll who comes on the show and tries to disrupt the show, and your comment was very much aligned with them. So if you want me to apologize for that, I certainly will apologize. But you telling me to go fuck myself doesn't show that you have any really. If that's all it took, then your platitudes about caring about me or my show or being your friend obviously is not accurate, because you would understand what just took place. Now, if you would like me to unban your account, I certainly will be happy to do that. But you also have to understand is that you've got one guy running a show who's controlling cameras, controlling audio, controlling donations, running commercials, running the videos, having conversation, trying to make it entertaining. And any troll banning or spamming the site is going to distract me from doing my job. So okay, you did it on YouTube, but you understand. Why don't you go back and watch the show and look at the other person who was banned, very similar name to you. So I don't know what to tell you. It was obviously a mistake. I'll be happy to go ahead and unban you from YouTube, but telling me to go fuck myself isn't going to make me jump through hoops for you. Right. So if a mistake, nobody's trying to hurt you. I don't ban people for comments. I ban people for trolling and saying stupid, repugnant shit. So once again, I already apologized for banning you, and I will say it again. It was obviously a mistaken identity. But we do have a troll who comes in and creates multiple accounts and uses names of viewers and does exactly what I just said happened. So you decide. If you want me to unban your account, I'll be happy to do that. You're banned you're banned on YouTube. You're not banned on Facebook. So you came back on a Facebook account. Would you like to be banned on Facebook? I'll be happy to do that to you too. And then you can tell me to go fuck myself again. Go ahead, Leeroy.
Something else I was thinking about just as you were talking about them.
Yeah.
The left seems to love to tell us that gender is a social construct, and that basically that there is no gender, the gender is fluid, all while telling you, right, that your gender identity is the most important thing that it should be. Like, that should be the number one thing that you are, is your gender identity, without ever but simultaneously, like, getting rid of the entire idea of gender. I don't understand that. I've never understood it, and it's never made sense to me.
If gender is a construct, then why is changing yours going to fix anything?
Right. Or changing the way you look or appear, right? What are you trying to appear to look like if gender has no definition?
Right. Don't worry about it, Julian. It's a mistake. Why would I want to get rid of a good viewer? Why would I want to do that? I don't care how annoying you're being. I don't block people for being annoying. And as far as making fun of people with meth, listen, one of my best friends died of a meth overdose. My brother participated in taking meth. One of my good friends, Scotty Halbert, who was a waiter with me at Applebee's, was arrested on cops, and that's how I found out he was still on meth like 20 years later. I worked in Tucumcari, New Mexico, from Albuquerque, Bakersfield. I'm very familiar with what meth does, and I don't look down on people for their mistakes. I just expect them to be accountable for them. And when somebody comes on and says something stupid like that, you're kind of opening yourself up for it. I agree. I think we could be better. But give us our lowbrow moments. I don't look down on people for taking meth. Yeah, I don't look down on people. Like I said, I just wish that people would educate themselves before making grandiose statements. Holy shit. Livy! I got to show Liv something. Then we're going to keep going. 207-28, folks, is where we're at. 207-28 is where we're at. Remember where it was last night?
Dying to know
it was less than half. So it's double in one day. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to unban Julian here. I've never done it on YouTube. Yeah, clock is up. We have 3 minutes and 45 seconds. All right, well, Julian, stay here. Julian says, but seems like this happened multiple times. You called out my comment. I have been down the methed up road and doesn't make you a bad person. I didn't say it made him a bad person. Her stupid comments made her a bad person.
Right.
That's what, when you literally trash conservatives because of your own stupidity, that may not make you a bad person collectively, but in that individual moment, it makes you a bad person. Like, can you imagine if I said to Democrats, listen, I can't stand Democrats because they idolize and worship a donkey. And those people are all going to hell because they are worshiping a false idol. Now, that is a very stupid thing to say and a very dumb reason to dislike Democrats. And I should be called out on that stupidity. Meth is really not the focus. And the chicks on the right deal with a lot of stupid people. And I'm not going to condemn them for making fun of her. She put herself out there. She's an idiot, and that's it. And I'm not making fun of her meth. I'm making fun of her that she's an idiot. Okay, fair enough. To unban a user on YouTube, you can either unblock them to the Google accounts block list or remove them from the hidden users list in YouTube Studio. Okay, I'll take care of that. Leeroy, I want you to watch this video, and I want you to tell me. I did a video on this earlier today. This is Pastor Marvin Winans from Detroit, Michigan. He is worth $5 million as a...
Holy shit.
Can I just tell you, I hate these people. And whether it's Greg Locke or it's the guy in Houston who owns the mega church. What was his name?
Noel Olson. Right? Olson?
I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe. Whoever that guy is. I can't stand the mega churches. I can't stand him. And this guy is a complete, just a jackhole. You comment on it while I try to figure out how to get Julian unbanned, because I have a feeling this is going to keep going unless I do. Here it is.
I, Roberta McCoy, given faith and stand in unity with the vision of perfecting church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
Keep digging, baby. Keep digging.
It just helps if you let the video play without. It helps if you let the video play without commentary so people can hear it. So now I got to go back and play it again. So we're gonna go back on the spot that they didn't hear. It's okay. You do it all the time. It's one of your things you do. Here is his comments, which really makes the video. It was already bad, but it gets worse.
Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
So you've got people standing in line with thousands of dollars. Leeroy, is this what turned people off and is bringing people back to Christianity and moving away from these mega churches and Protestant churches that, I'm not saying Protestants are bad, please don't get out on me, but I'm just letting you know that a lot of this comes from giant donations and these mega churches, and the hand of God is a little much. And I think people are leaving these churches because they're sick of being shamed and they're sick of being taken advantage of. And if I was her, I would cut up the check and go to find a new church. What are your thoughts?
Oh, that is so insulting to that lady. And do you think God really cares how much you, like, if you walked up to the front of the church with $1,200 and said, "Hey, I want you to use this to feed and shelter people who are less fortunate," and this guy's saying, "This isn't enough. What's wrong with you? Weren't you listening?" Like, what are you trying to do, guy? Like, I would think that is the biggest turnoff to anybody who is listening to that sermon. Like, where is your humility? God would talk about being humble. He would talk about being generous and kind. But he literally questioned that lady in front of the entire congregation and insulted her for it.
Right.
And that is just so slimy. Like, nope, give me more. Keep digging, baby. Keep digging. You're like, dude, you hear yourself, right? It is so condescending and gross. No wonder people had stepped away. I would step away from that church in a heartbeat.
I would have had some words for him. You know what I mean? And
like up there with the mic, you probably would have whispered in, "Are you serious?"
I would have told him. I would have told him to go fuck himself. But that's just me, and I'm trying to work on my reactions. But does that person deserve any respect from you? Does that person deserve even a modicum of respect from you at all?
No.
It's just I don't understand people like that. I just don't, and I don't understand how you could treat your congregation like that.
Right
now, if you have a problem, someone in your congregation, you would think that you would have a conversation with them in private. I mean, isn't that what the Bible says? So to me, I'm I think it's bullshit. And not a big fan of it. Folks, we're at 2:07:28. We got to play the commercial. We're in overtime. Leeroy, if you got to go, you got to go. I can't walk away with 200. We got to try to find a way to make this goal. So if you got to go, completely fine. Get out of here and go have a good day. And
I actually am going to do exactly that. My back has been on fire ever since I sat down, and I don't know why. But
get some rest, buddy.
Go try and find some muscle relaxers. Peace out, guys.
Also known as whiskey.
Thank you to everyone who did donate. Barry Morgenstein, you're an amazing man. Keep up the great work. Matt, you do an amazing show.
Love you, buddy.
For everyone who's still watching, you guys keep pumping that message out there. Keep sharing what we have, and love you guys. We'll talk to you in a little bit.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon, brother. See ya. Leeroy Jenkins, folks, brother from another mother, and one hell of a good dude. Julian, I will find it after the show, and I will get you taken care of. Unfortunately, man, I cannot find this thing, but we will figure it out, and I will set myself a reminder to get you squared away. Sorry that you got banned. That wasn't my intention. I'm just trying to protect the show. Anybody who does that, anybody who steals money from people and then makes them feel guilty. I mean, obviously she's trying the best she can. It was even like $1,000 and 280 some odd dollars. She gave every penny she had. I mean, that's ridiculous. Here is a gentleman. He is a protester. He loses his mind talking about Trump as a king. This is an example. Not going to talk about meth, even though very well could be meth. But this is insane. Listen to this guy.
But if we had a king, we wouldn't be able to have the protest.
No, we would. We would.
And what does your sign say?
Have the right to protest. And Trump would say no, by the way. Trump would say no.
If Trump would say no, we wouldn't be having a protest.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Well, we have a protest.
You're talking about ICE going over and throwing people away?
What I'm saying is we do have our right to protest. I don't believe Trump is stopping your right to protest because we're having this today.
He's trying to. Are you seeing what sort of stuff he's saying?
He's not here stopping it.
Are you kidding me? Trump would
Where
have
is
to be
he?
in 101. Trump would have to be in over 1,000 locations to stop these protests. These are happening all over the country today. It doesn't matter. Of course he's not here to stop it. I really think that the New York City police would allow him to go over and send troops to stop this protest. This is entirely legal.
But if we had a king, we wouldn't be able to have the protest.
No, we would. We would. We would. The worst dictatorships in the world have protests. You don't understand that. Do you really think that a dictator, a king, is all powerful? No, they're weak. They are weak. They make a country weak. Every time that a king... You realize what happened? The most recent dictators?
Yeah,
They died. They died in World War II, and their countries were taken over. They were weak.
You know, until we figure out how to compartmentalize and handle our emotions, I think we're doomed. I don't understand. I really don't. So let me ask you guys a question. Can I guilt you guys like that pastor did, and just be like, you know, this wasn't what we agreed upon, and I'm gonna need you guys to reach in and give me what you don't have. Listen, it's been a while since we haven't hit it, and I'm fine with that. We've had a good run, and you guys always take care of us. And we'll just call it tonight. I'm going to show you one more video, and then we're going to get out of here. This is in Oregon, and this is in an Antifa camp. And as soon as Oregon got permission to have the National Guard and the military there, look what happened. This is hilarious. He wasn't any pastor. Well, he's something, dude, because he's in a church. I don't know what you call it, minister, pastor, father, but I don't know. Who cares? He's leading the church. Here is what happened in the Antifa camp in Oregon. Look what happened.
Smile, you're on candid camera. You know it's a job, sir. You know you could just get a different job. It's a choice. It's literally a choice. You chose. So don't take it up.
So Donald Trump's allowed to send military, and then all of a sudden they clean it up. This should really piss a lot of people off, especially when it comes to how long they've been there doing exactly that. Leaving it for the police to watch and leaving it to the common citizen to take those hits when all they had to do was do that from the beginning. Isn't that interesting how quickly? It's almost like Gavin Newsom when he cleaned up San Francisco, when the Chinese premier / president / dictator showed up. Here is one last video. This is Harry Sisson just getting steamrolled. Harry Sisson says, please name one Democratic leader who's called Trump a Nazi. Are you shitting me? How long is this show? This should be a 5-part miniseries. I can name at least 50. Hold on, I got a caller. Hey, caller, where are you from? What's up?
Hey, bud. This is Julian.
Hey, Julian. What's going on, dude?
Hey, man. I just wanted to apologize for earlier.
It's okay. You
also,
had every right. You got banned. I would have been pissed too.
And this happens every time I come and comment on your page, YouTube or Facebook. You jump to banning me, and it feels like
what are you talking
there must
about?
be a mole that's just following me or something.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even know who you are. I'm sorry. If I banned you, then how can you be on the show?
That's a good question. You specifically commented on my post with the messed up attitude.
Are you calling to apologize, or are you calling to bust my balls even more? Which one?
Both.
Okay, well, fuck you off. How about that? We good now?
Cool.
Okay, so go fuck yourself. We cool? We're even now?
That's good.
All right, see you, bye. All right, so there we go. I have no idea what he's talking about. I've never met this guy in my life. I don't even know who he is. Here is the video of Harry Sisson. Go ahead and take a watch, and we'll go from there.
By the way, I'd be happy to answer the question about whether or not a high-ranking Democrat has used this rhetoric. Who is Kamala Harris?
I know. I want you to answer all the questions. I want you to answer all the questions.
I have a question for you. Who is Kamala Harris?
Wait. Answer all the questions I just gave you. And can you name me when Kamala Harris said that Donald Trump is
question. Who was
when did Kamala Harris? Great.
Was Kamala Harris last year a high-ranking Democrat when she was?
When did Kamala Harris call Donald Trump Hitler?
October of 2004. Kamala Harris said on the campaign trail, Donald Trump vowed to be a dictator on day one. His former chief of staff said he wanted generals like Hitler's. Donald Trump openly admires dictators, including Adolf Hitler. Last October, that was said on the campaign trail from the Democrat.
So Kamala Harris said this during the campaign, during the closing days of the campaign. It was her final campaign pitch. Is that high enough ranking
Thank
for
you, Chuck.
$75.
Love you, buddy.
Exactly, because there have been reports
the person
that Donald
that you
Trump
supported for president is someone
just relax,
who was
Jack.
campaigning by calling Trump Hitler.
Jack,
you're so disingenuous when you bring this stuff up. You can't
guys,
even acknowledge the fact that your own candidate was on the campaign. She's got a video about it. It's on her Facebook, or it's on her Twitter page.
Let me offer one here, which is Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton literally compared Trump's rally in Ohio last week to Nazi leader Adolf Hitler's speeches. Speaking of the Texas Tribune Festival in Austin, she made reference to Hitler's speeches, which saw people raise their right arms in the air in the Nazi salute. I remember as a young student, trying to figure out how people basically got bought in by Hitler. She said, how did that happen? I'd watch newsreels and I'd see this guy standing there ranting and raving and so on. It happens all the time.
I just want to know why he's wearing blush. I mean, seriously, just come out of the closet. Here's the thing. Okay. I have a feeling, just a feeling, that that's balls. And I'll tell you why. Because I know how this guy works. And I bet you that's balls. Because I've looked at Julian's account, and Julian, your account is, you haven't been following me for a year. Number one. Number two, if I banned you, how are you able to communicate with me on YouTube and Facebook? So I appreciate the troll. It's cute, I guess. But the funny thing is, if it's truly you and you actually called in, Tommy Coffin, thank you so much. 292.28, almost there. If you call in and have the guts to call in finally when I think you're somebody else, why not just call in and make your case of what your problem is? You can't. So for me to tell somebody who calls in to fuck off, the reason why is because you told me to go fuck myself, pardon my language. And then I had at least the wherewithal and the good grace to say, hey, I apologize if I was wrong. And I did that. And then you call in and you continue to bust my ball and make up stuff that I ban you all the time. First of all, I don't ban anybody on this show. I never get to ban people because Olivia does that and the moderators did it before. It's not me. So if you've been banned, it's because you're being an asshole online. And either you're spamming the show or you're specifically doing things just like that. Now, if you don't want to be banned anymore, maybe you shouldn't do things to get yourself banned, which is degrading other people in the show or spamming the show or purposely trying to say things that aren't accurate. And I asked you the question, are you calling to apologize or are you calling to bust my balls? A little bit of both. Okay, fuck you. You're not going to bust my balls because I've already apologized. And if you can't accept that, then that says more about you than it does me. So enjoy being gone. Have fun. Now you're really banned. So you can enjoy that. Since we almost hit goal, we'll do one more, just because I love you. I won't use that one because Olivia will get mad. Let's see. Which one? Oh yeah, no, I can't do that one. This is an interesting one. And you know what? We can do a poll with all the listeners. Tips. Have tips got out of control? Folks, we're $8 away. Now it would be just a travesty if we don't hit it. So, but here's the thing. Let's listen to this guy. And while we're there, we can knock out the tip of asking you to tip. So I'm not going to tell you my opinion because it could affect me getting $8. So I'm just going to sit here and do this. Here is this guy's take. Merry Christmas.
So I'm not tipping anymore. I'm done. I'm out. Used to be you would give a tip if somebody gave exceptional service. When was the last time you got exceptional service anywhere? And it's just expected. They bring you the bill at the end and they're like, here, just fill this out. 20%, 25%. No, you did your job. They made food. You carried it to my table. You got me a Diet Coke. Thank you. That was your job. You don't get 25% because you did your job. And I'm not the bad guy here. I'm not. If you own a restaurant, just tell me what it costs. I don't want people to go hungry. What does it cost for me to get my food and also so that the wait staff doesn't have to join the cartel, do some Lord of the Flies, Oliver Twist? Like, I want people to be taken care of. Just tell me what it costs.
All right. So let's have this dialogue. So I'm coming from two until we.
So I'm not tipping.
We got it, dude. We heard you. So I'm not gonna go ahead and like expose what I think because the question is this tips? Jamie says, hey, Matt, bet you would have that $8 if you had a Blue Sky page. I'm telling you, I'm going to start a Blue Sky page. I'm going to. And then I need you all to go and join it so I can break the algorithm. I was a waiter and I was a bartender. I started as a host at Applebee's when I was young, really young. I'm going to say 17. And I got permission to work in Colorado. My brother worked for Applebee's and I went over and I did host work. Then from being a host, I became a waiter at Applebee's. JD, I'll check the video. I'm sorry. It's a busy day today. My bad. Then I started waiting tables. Then I joined the military. And when I joined the military, when I was off watch, which was all the time, I started working at Applebee's on Virginia Beach and became a bartender. And then started doing front end or back end work in the back of the house. Bobby Richardson donated 1080 just because we love you, Bobby. Thank you, hon. You're the best. And I, from there, went to overseas and did that. And then when I got out, I went back to Applebee's and I became a food and beverage manager. And did that. I waited tables for a while, and then I became a manager and moved to Wyoming and ran at the Applebee's there. And I hated it. And then I was also a bartender and bounced bar and was a bartender in the Cowboy Bar in Wyoming. Some of you may have seen it in movies and stuff. Rough bar. And bouncing bar in there was interesting, to say the least. Had a knife pulled on me a few times, a couple of pool cues. Had a guy at a 2-shooter, little Dillinger gun pulled on me, and a lot of the shit that I'm glad Olivia got me out of there. But tips were a big part of my life. And when I installed cable and worked Ultimate Electronics, the same thing. Gregory Harrison, $8, pineapple on that pizza, Matt. I love you, though. Thank you for the tip. So I understand tips. And the reason why that you have to tip in the food industry, and just so you folks understand, is the margin is so low in the food industry. It really is shit. If you're running an 8 to 10, 12% margin in food, you're doing exceptionally well. And if you're not selling liquor, it's really hard to make a nickel in the food industry. Now you're like, well, that's not my fault. Well, you are the consumer, and the food cost fluctuates so damn much depending upon how much you buy and depending on what's going on with fuel prices and energy prices, and tariffs are important. I mean, all these things that they can't increase the price in order to make up for the deficit. Tammy's going through this. Tammy, her prices are so reasonable, but she could probably mark up her food 20%, but then people won't show up to eat. So tips are really important. But this whole bullshit that you got to give 20 to 25%, no, that's absolutely a lie. I go into every restaurant I never give more than 20%. I don't care how good it is. And I will deduct. And I will always leave something. So when this guy says I'm done with tipping, don't. Walk in with a number that you can justifiably tell the server, listen, I want to be respectful to you. I'm not trying to be rude to you. We appreciate the service, but I walked in here, I had one glass of water, wasn't refilled for 45 minutes. I didn't get any water. I asked for a salad with blue cheese. It came out with Thousand Island. The steak was overcooked. It was a hockey puck. It took us 45 minutes to get our food after our order. You forgot the appetizer. And listen, I'm going to leave you a 10% tip, not because I'm going to stiff you, but it was really bad service. Now, it depends. If it's the back of the house, I'm going to tip that server. But if that server does a shitty job and it's their fault, I'm not going to take care of them because I waited tables and I understand. But leave something. Don't leave 3 cents. Don't be that person. Leave something. But this whole thing, it's going up 25, 30%. Bullshit. 10% is a perfectly decent tip. It's not great, but it's not going to get your tires slashed. Give them 10%. On a $30, it's $3. Is that ideal? No. But you know what? That's the way it is. With your minimum wage as a server and the $3, and you had 4 or 5 other tables, you made $20 an hour. You know what? You really aren't doing stuff that's that hard. So when I served, I could take 15, 20 tops, and I could run 3 or 4 15, 20 tops. I never wrote anything down. I did it by memory. I was really good at it. I was a great server. I flirted with the customers. I always had a high PPA. I would go in at Applebee's and I would do a 4-hour dinner rush and 1 hour of side work, and I'd walk away with $175. That's an incredibly good amount of money for working at Applebee's. I made good money as a waiter. As a bartender in Wyoming, I'd pull $250 to $300 a night. And that was with bouncing bar and pouring drinks. Women would come in and they would throw over a 50 and keep the change on a $10 drink tab. I just made incredible money as a bartender. I mean, really, really well. But you got to check the back of the house. You got to check the wait times. You got to check, maybe someone's having a bad day. And if you don't tip them, they're just going to have even a worse of a day, and they're going to be horrible the next time. You got to be nice to people. And if you're going to go out to a restaurant, tipping is a part of it because they don't make anything. Well, it's not my fault. They should choose a different job. Come on. You can leave something. You don't have to be one of those no-tip people. I always believe that I try to leave people better than I found it. And just because the server's having a bad night, it doesn't mean you need to make it worse. So I believe tip what you can. And if you talk to the server, they'll be really cool to you. You know, I used to have a lady who would come in and she would make me cornbread muffins. And then she would leave me like $1.50 on a $25 ticket. And I was okay with it. Like I would take, she would come in and people like, no, I don't want the cornbread lady. I'm like, I'll take the cornbread lady. Fuck it, you people. And then every time I took the cornbread lady, the hostess who would be going over to my house to party that night, all the hostesses, they would always give me the big fat seats because I always took the cornbread lady. And I would always tip out my hostesses, and you didn't have to. But if I made $100, I'd come out to the hostess, I'd each give them a $5. Say, thanks for seating me tonight. But by giving them $5 and I would lose 10, 15, I would also go to the server who didn't have a lot of tables and I'd say, hey, you had a shitty night. You didn't make any money. I'll give you $20 if you do my silverware and fill the dressings. And I'm out of here. I'd give them $20. And it would take them 30 minutes to do the side work and then they made more money. And I'd leave. Waiting tables is a skill. And how you treat people and how you treat your customers and how you treat your staff. And back of the house, I'd never send a steak back. I would go back there and I'd be like, permission to go on the line. What's going on? I got a steak. It's well done. I need to drop a medium. We'll get it. We got it. Thanks, Matt. And that was it. Because I'd never bust their balls. And I would always talk to the head line cook. And I'd be like, hey, man, you got a second? Are you guys in it? Are you in the weeds? No, we're good. What's up? I got a rare. Can you guys do a recook for me? You got time? Or do you want me to stall them with a salad? It's like, dude, stall them with a salad. We'll get it on. Okay. So I go out there, give them a free salad and stall them. They would get the medium rare or, they had a rare and it turned into a medium rare and then walk out and reserve it. I'd check the temperature myself, put on a pair of gloves and do the thumb test, check it, make sure it was mid-rare and go reserve it. Be like, listen, back of house is up against it tonight. I'd tell the customer, sorry about that. What else can we do to make it right for you? Did you enjoy your salad? Great. You just, it's an art form. It's an art form. Servers have a tough time making any money. So I'm not saying take pity on them. I'm just saying 25% is ridiculous. There has never been a waiter who's earned 25% in my life, and I'll never give it 25%. I don't care how good their service was. I just won't do it. Gregory Harrison, I love that, the pizza. I just got your email. Because 25%, I'm not giving you a quarter of what the meal cost. It's stupid. There's no way. If I went to Benihana's when I was making good money, or I'd go to Ruth Chris or whatever, or go to Elway's, and I had a $300-$400, we would bring in 4 DMs and we would probably have a $600-$700 tab. And on a $600 tab, I'd leave them $120. That's a great night. That is a great night. It's a 20% tip. You're getting taken care of. You got your PPA up. You got a $120 tip for a 1.5 hour table. That is a wonderful night. I don't care what restaurant you're in. And you're going to also do another 5 or 6 tables during that time. And you're also probably going to make, anywhere from $50 to $150 on those tables too. You're going to walk out with $500-$600 bones. That is a great night. I don't care what restaurant. I don't care what 5-star dining you're used to. You walk out with $500-$600 as a waiter. You're celebrating. I don't care where you are. You can be in Beverly Hills. You can be in Manhattan. $600, $500. That is a great night as a waiter. Even the 5 stars don't make that shit. Some people are like, oh yeah, I sure do. I made $600. No, you didn't. You're a liar. You're a liar. To make $600, which means that you would have to essentially sell $3,500 worth of food? No. Unless you're selling Cristal and you're selling, Kobe beef grade 9. You're not doing that shit. And if you are, you're dealing with somebody for 6 hours in a club and you're one table and it's P. Diddy. You don't have 4 or 5 of those tables. You can't. You just can't. You're essentially a concierge. So I've worked at some very high-end restaurants in between military and Denver, and never made $600 a night. Now at Ultimate Electronics as an installer, oh yeah, we would get $1,000 tips. Olivia and I would, and we would go and I'd run their cables. Yeah, $600 you have to be a stripper, right? So, yeah, Morton servers in New Orleans, $140K a year. I believe it. See, because the PPA is high. Because you can get a $1,000 tab in Morton's like that. You do 3 or 4 rounds of drinks. You do an appetizer. You do a la carte sides. And you do a $100 steak. You can have a $1,500 tab at 4 people like that. Drinks are $20 a pop. You got some guy drinking Johnny Walker Blue or McMillan or whatever. And you're going to hit it fast, or Old Grouse or whatever it would be. And you're going to make that quick. They're buying $40 glasses of cheese glasses of scotch. You're going to run that shit up fast. And $1,500, you make 20%, it's $300. You do 3 of those tables, you're walking out with $1,000. You do that 5 nights a week, that's $5,000. You take that $5,000 and you times that by 20. Well, no, you do that by a month. So $5,000, 5 to 10, 5 times 2. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to do that. 140K, that's pretty high. Maybe I'll backtrack. I don't know many waiters that were making 140K a year. At Applebee's, I was making 75, 80. When I worked in some of those higher end restaurants, I was clearing 100,000. But making 140K, that's a lot. I mean, you have to be clearing $1,000 in tips, $5,000. That's $20,000 a month. That's a lot of money. So $5,000 a week, 5 nights a week. That's 20,000. That's 200,000. Okay, so let's say you do 10,000. That's 120. So you need to do about 11,000, 12,000 to do 150K, 12,000 a month. That's tough. That's tough. As a VP, at Optimum without stock and bonus, I was making 175K. It's really hard to hit 150K. You can get close. Like there's no doubt in my mind at Morton's, 100,000, 120,000. Yes, especially in a big city. 150K. That's a lot. They did banquets. Okay, well, that's a little bit different. That's not what we're talking about, though. Banquets are completely a different thing. Banquet waiting tables, now that's a completely different conversation because that is volume. Like we would do banquets at the Embassy Suites Hotel, but those would be $40,000, $50,000 banquets. And every waiter got 1.5% of that. So, you know what I'm saying? So I'm Melanie, I'm agreeing with you on banquets. Yeah, banquets are different. We would go in black tie banquets. You get $150,000. We're talking prime rib, cut and carved, lobster. They're serving the well is like Johnny Walker Blue and McMillan and just high end everything. And you know, Grey Goose and everything's just quality liquor. And you know, that's $150,000 banquet or a wedding. And every waiter, you know, would get 0.5% or 1%. You would go in there, you make $1,000, $1,500 in one night. That's just different. And and you get tips. Oh, there's no doubt. You get the percentage, and then people giving you money. Hey man, go get my drink for me. Gives you a 20. Keep the change. You're just like, it's free. Just keep it anyway. Just go get me a drink. So I'm with you. There's good money if you got the personality and you got the charm and you got the gift. Where do you guys think I learned the gift of gab? Where do you think I learned to talk? It was waiting tables. That's where I learned it. That's where I learned the skill set of doing this is bartending and just talking to people and de-escalating conversations, unless you're Jillian. All right, listen, I want to tell you guys I love you. I appreciate you. Jillian, maybe try another day. I didn't block you on Facebook. Let's start over. How about that? Or call me and tell me to fuck off. And if you're balls, then, you know, keep trolling, dude. I love it. I love that I'm in your head rent free. I love that. Back tomorrow, Olivia and I are on. I'm going to go watch my hockey game. I want to say thank you to everybody. If you have not had a chance, please share, like, and subscribe. Thank you for the donations. Thanks for taking care of us tonight. I do appreciate you. We'll have a good show Wednesday. By the way, the Avs are 5-0-1. We're looking to go 6-0-1 in Utah. Let's hope for a good win tonight. And great conversation. I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys Wednesday. See you tomorrow. Have a good one. God bless you.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leeroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.